Alright, so this is OUYA Unity Support Hangout for March 25th, 2013. And I thought I'd go over like some controller changes and whatnot. So one thing I was working on is on the OUYA game object. There's now a use legacy input checkbox. So it's on by default, which works exactly how the previous version worked. And then you uncheck that to get the performance controller input. And that enters the new stuff, which happens to be there's a toolkit and so on here. Open capture smiles.
Yeah, I learned that.
Cool. Okay, so I'm making.
How's it going? Sorry, Jen.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, usually I send the 30-minute heads up email, but I was still encoding video and I wasn't sure how long it was going to be. Okay. So this week we're focusing on the controller performance issues and whatnot, and so I've added a thing to check for that legacy checkbox, and if it's checked, it will go and send the massive JSON blobs as each thing happens. Otherwise, I'm just piping the key codes to the Unity player for the on key down, on key up, for the motion events and touch events and trackball events. So we'll see if that works. There's going to be more coming later to support this. Oh, now that's interesting. Is that Visual Studio just not refreshed? Okay, good. I thought the keyboard went crazy and deleted my file names or something. All right, so I made some changes to the OUYA activity. So now it has a reference to the plugin from the application. Because the activity gets to your key events, and the plugin is what Unity can talk to. And I need to have Unity tell the plugin, hey, we want legacy input, and that's going to affect the application. And this is the bridge that goes across. So I could probably call it OUYA bridge, maybe. Or activity bridge, or activity plugin bridge. I don't know. Maybe the enterprise. Oh, bummer. Bummer what? Did you lose audio? Oh, talking. Okay, just chat stuff. Okay. So anyways, now that we have an interface to talk to these different things, that's why in the application now, first thing it does is it, in the input event, whatever it is, it sees if the plugin's been initialized. If it hasn't, in a key event, if you return false, it just means you didn't handle it and it passes it on to the next guy. And then if it has been initialized, we can check if the legacy input is on. Otherwise, send the JSON data. And then finally, we just fall back to always pipe the input on into Unity. And that basically enables the Unity input events. What that means is in your Unity code, you can reference the standard Unity API for input.whatever versus going through the OUYA input manager. If you check the legacy box, you could do both. And we'll finalize this more for the next update. Now, this week, Marco's over at GDC, So, but I also want to get an update for the folks that are submitting updates. Okay, so there have been some reports of having weirdness with controllers, so I'm just going to launch my capture software here. Just going to think about stuff for a minute. I've also been practicing the stag game. I got up to... Oh, that was weird. I hit the system button on the controller and it made us taking a picture sound. Oh, stalagmite. Yep, been practicing that one. Okay, so in the latest version, am I in the right controller? Yeah. I don't know which controller's which. I'm gonna start putting like labels on them so I know which one's which. Okay, let's try this. Nope, not that one. Okay, so I was in the middle of some changes, but we'll see if it still works. Using the legacy mode. So last week I had made some changes like pushing down on the left and right stick actually moves the left and right stick now to kind of show you like a virtual down press. Let's check what devices I have turned on to. Expired? Oh, I gotta type in another key. Okay. Alright, I have a few devices plugged in. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. That's a tricky command if you have multiple Android devices plugged in. You want to just say, hey, send it to this or that one. All right, awesome. Well, I'm still working on it. That's why we have logging built in. Okay. So if this plugin is not set, it would just keep returning false, which is possible. So the plugin has this initialization process. Which is where I set, okay. Comments are good. Okay. If you guys want to just talk in the Hangout, you can too. The controller stuff that I'm covering now is actually what you're going to see like in the next update, and I'm hoping to post it today or tomorrow.
Hey Tim, this is Jason
Yeah.
here. I was contacting you on Skype about the controller issue. I'm just wondering if that's what you're basically delving into this week.
Yeah. So is it the one where you're on the Mac and you're trying to get the Mac Xbox 360 controller working, or is it the
It's
controller lag issue?
No, it's the controller working, but it's on a PC.
Okay.
It's basically the trigger and the D-pad. It records or it sees the down press, but then doesn't register the when you let go of it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be fixing all that stuff.
Good.
Let's see how that works. Nope, that's different Unity. There we go. I need to make an app that's the Unity switcher app, so it shows they put Unity first, and if they put the project name first, it might fit on my start bar. There we go. Sanity returns. Okay. So right now I'm using the OUYA controller on Windows. And you have to click on the game view for it to get input. Okay, so if I push down on the sticks, they go down. So left stick and right stick. And then, of course, like in the direction that you push it.
Cute. And that depressed those sticks is definitely on the Unity final controllers.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It should work
And is
with the
that
clear ones. It's always been there. It's just R3 and L3.
Okay, and they are analog or digital? Those presses of those sticks.
Well, it's the
Can't tell.
digital sticks. Well, I think
Sorry,
analog.
go on. Are they like buttons, or are they like analog values?
Yeah, they're analog, but they're either pressed or not pressed. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what I was.
It's not an axis.
Yeah, that's how they are on the PS3. I know. I didn't know how Unity had done it, but thanks.
Now,
What's
I need
the
to fire.
status of the? Oh, sorry. Can I on the while we're on the controllers quickly? What's the status of the system button? Is that one sorted now?
Hey. Apparently, it's key 0 on in Windows. Basically, this is all stuff that I aim to do this whole week, but I'm gonna try and bang stuff out for tomorrow. Like do a new build for tomorrow, where we just fix everything.
everything. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's people worrying that
ship your game
cancer and
tomorrow.
world wars and things are going to be so chuffed.
Yeah. Yes, forget world peace, whatever. Just this thing. Now I'll need to make like a new example that uses the input interface with possibly, maybe I could do a mapping. I think I talked about doing a mapping so that you can do it by map your player and key code, or your player, the different enums you have with the OUYA controller to the input enum that it uses for the built-in stuff. So it's a little more straightforward, so you don't have to reference code like saying, oh, the second stick on the sixth axis inverted, that kind of thing. We'll just have a direct mapping. Alright, so I'm going to take a look at the chat here. Okay, so the fact that we're piping the input directly to the Unity player and bypassing the JSON encoding fixes the lag issue for now. Oh, Marco pinged me. I'll see if he's in San Francisco.
Tim, when you say piped for the input from Android to Unity, is that via a JNI call now, or how's that working?
No, that was just using the video from last week when we were talking about the GDC stuff, and then we just kind of went into, all right, here, I'll bring it up. So in the Unity application where your input events are happening, we have a reference to the Unity player object, which is how we construct the Unity player inside of your Android layout. And in the there's an input event here. Okay, so you have your activity on key down event, and then I'm just passing it through the Java interface on the Unity player to send the key event.
Do we know how efficient that call is?
It's so fast it's not even measurable.
I'm going to debate that one, but yeah, okay. Sounds good. That sounds fast enough for us then. I'm just wary of the whole latency type of thing.
Right. There is no latency. I mean,
controllers. Yeah, whether we're going to end up with dealing with the whole thing on a per event basis or whether.
Right. Yeah. Right. We need to make a 8-player gauntlet.
Oh yeah, we so do. Actually, I'm going to adapt my Snowman game to make a movable camera, movable world version in version 2, and then they'll just go off on Snowman Explorers. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to do that now.
Do we have a new build of Snowman?
Oh yeah.
We do.
Hi, come to the Hangouts.
Yeah, you guys are too kind. Interesting. Steve has an interesting comment there about not being able to get 4 controllers via Bluetooth or USB on the OUYA. Perhaps, Steve, you could tell us about that. I'm assuming other people have had that. Is it a difficulty?
Yeah, I'll turn my microphone. Sorry, I have some construction going on behind me, so it's kind of noisy. Yeah, so this is a problem during that first game jam. I haven't tried to play with it since, but I was just trying to. I tried with the USB controllers like a PS3, and I only have 2 OUYA controllers. but every time I plug more than 3 controllers in, it disconnects one of them, or it doesn't work. Or I can't go past 3 controllers basically.
So the ODK itself is supposed to have a limit of 8 controllers.
The thing is that it's kind of hodgepodge because they're PS3 controllers, Xbox 360 controllers, and the OUYA controllers. So I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't know if I'm not the only one that's having that problem. So.
Okay. Well, I guess we can use we can use debug logging inside the input events just to see.
Tim, Kev, other people with OUYA devices, do you have some 360s and PS3s and things that we could because I don't know about you guys, but all of us trying to write games which are going to use multiple controllers, we're kind of scuppered with, we're expecting people to have probably 2 controllers, and we want them to have like 4 or 8 controllers. They're going to have to plug in. Yeah, Kev, do you reckon you fancy sticking a load of controllers into a USB?
Okay, I'm going to do that now.
I have 4 PS3 controllers, so.
Awesome.
I've got 4 OUYA controllers, and I have 3 360 controllers that I can test with.
I got 2 OUYA controllers, 4 PS3 controllers, 1 Xbox.
There you go.
Because if we can know that that's definitely broken or definitely working, there's a whole class of games which I'm sure Steve and myself and others we're all wanting people to be able to plug in N controllers up to 8 and then play crazy games. Because they're not going to all have OUYA controllers, and we're completely scuppered if they can't do that. So that's really useful. Might not be right now, but it would be a lovely thing if somebody could test that for us, please.
Yeah. Well, let's do that now because I didn't really have enough content to last an hour today.
If you send over the build, I can definitely test it.
All right, so let's just go wild today, and we'll just make a game from scratch in like 10 minutes.
Will your multiple controller challenge? That actually sounds kind of entertaining TV. But what about your multi-controller skeleton thing? Could you just
I'm just gonna
pump that to the max?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. I'm making a 2D side scroller in 2 days for class.
Nice. You'll do
That's
it.
gonna be
I know you
tough.
will. As long as it doesn't involve menus, you're awesome.
Oh,
Burn.
really? Oh, I need to go get some ice. Hold on.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I tell you what, I could actually send you a build of the Snowman game because it's linear number of snowmen. So.
Yeah, I'm going to start from the example that everybody can start with, and that'll kind of.
Oh, you're going to use the new input.
Well, I'm going to start with 1003, which is the latest.
And it's funny because I was like, I kind of want to use like 2 controllers, and I was like, PC, this is too hard. I'm just gonna build it for the OUYA.
Out of curiosity, Steve, which input approach are you using? Are you using the OUYA input controller and event-based, or are you poll-based, or are you using normal Unity?
The last time we worked with multiple controllers, we just used the it was I don't know. It was just we're using the enums like LX for left X stick. That's all we're doing for OUYA SDK player 1 or something like that. So that was for the 4-player one. We haven't touched multiple controllers yet since Steam since the game jam. That I think he still has a build on Steampunk Showdown that does have 4-controller player on it, but we just couldn't get it working basically. We only had 2 OUYA controllers. But am I the only one that had trouble with more than 3 controllers? Or has anybody tried it in more than 3 controllers yet? Or I haven't even heard.
No, I haven't tried it at all. I haven't tried more than 1.
I think that's really common, but I'm sure Tim must have done because he's got a 4-controller skeleton demo as part of the package, doesn't he? So.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit frustrated because I'd turn on the 4th controller and then another one would drop. And I'd turn that one on and the other one would turn on.
It sounds like it's a new. It's the firmware or something. Because yeah.
Come on, they could never ship. They could never ship something where it literally kicks controllers out.
Yeah, that's what I was having. It's not even my program. It's just when I plug the 3rd controller in. Or actually, when I plug the 4th one in, it pops another controller out. Even if I use a USB hub or if I use a combination of USB direct cable connections and the Bluetooth, it's still I think there's something else going on with it. I feel like I'm the only one who's tried it though. Let me mute my microphone. I got something going on in the background of construction. Sorry about that.
You sound fine. All
I
right,
have
so I've
4
imported the three
controllers
most.
hooked up, but I've never been able to test it. I don't have 4 controllers to test, so.
We've tried 4 controllers at one point, but that was basically by going around the OUYA dev kit.
Interesting.
It burns.
What does that mean?
There's some sort of fix on the forums where you use like a OUYA player activity.java, I think that's empty, which allows you to circumvent the problems we've had, or something like that. I haven't really been sitting with that problem, but we had like a lag problem on both GameStick and on OUYA, and if we didn't use the ODK at all, we were able to go around that problem.
Right. He's just talking about, not doing the JSON input stuff, which will be in this week's update. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Which is okay, but it's not awesome.
Out of curiosity, do the different when you say the controllers are kicked off, do they sort of represent some sort of I'm no longer connected to the OUYA? Can you perhaps use them to move the menus and things before they get kicked off? How are you telling that they're really completely booted?
So, are you talking to me directly, or
anybody who's experienced the problem? Yes, Steve, you'd be a perfect candidate.
So I would try even disconnecting and unpairing everything, and then retrying it again. And as soon as I plug the third, or actually, as soon as I plug the fourth one in, it disconnects one of them, or it doesn't even connect to the fourth one at all. So I just gave up on it. It wasn't worth my time to mess around with.
So this was before you were in a game, right? You're on
this is just
menu screen.
On the regular. This is just on the regular OUYA menus without any game playing or
oh my God.
none of my games.
Yeah. Well, and then I noticed because the whole controller just shuts off, the power shuts off, so you have to turn it back.
Yeah.
On. So
yeah, exactly.
Noticed that.
I did. The biggest mistake we did make was we did have development build checked, and that we found that consistently disconnected the controllers.
Checked in where?
With multiple controllers. If you have multiple controllers and you use development build checked in Unity, it's going to disconnect your controller randomly. Either one. We've thrown away batteries, and we're like, oh well, we wasted batteries basically. We thought the batteries were bad, so.
You have a battery tester.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's right. Yeah, need a voltmeter.
I wonder whether it couldn't be a Bluetooth, bandwidth collision issue. Just doesn't make sense. You've got to think, the OUYA developers, the people actually building OUYA have done this, right? I mean, it must have had more.
There's a massive shortage on the controllers, so
they don't even have enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because they can ship a whole console with a thing if they just put 2 with a console and ship it, So what's more important? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Man,
You can deprive somebody out
now.
there. It's not like these things won't be fixed, so I wouldn't. And we can fix it ourselves. If it's a firmware thing, then we can make a nice repro case, Okay, so all I did was I just duplicated the existing skeleton and I assigned a different player, That should be all I have to do.
And is this using the polling based, or is this using?
Yeah. Hang on. I did the thing that we use project setup settings. Okay, and then reopen the project. Now in Windows, it's only going to detect 4 because they use the X input in Unity.
But at least it'll prove that 4 work within the code. It's not, that's.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's true.
Is it just me that's amused by this idea that these soldiers, the skeleton soldiers, they're all standing in formation, and suddenly one of them starts dancing, and then makes a run for it.
Okay, so there's one. Now for the fun part. Think I have enough batteries? Okay, so there's 3 and 4. Okay, so I go to my add Bluetooth, add a device, turn it on, check for batteries. Oh, no batteries. Okay, hang on. Dang. You wouldn't think a little box would be so heavy. With sweet. Original equipment, accessory, alkaline. Awesome. Okay, so now it's in pairing mode. And there we go. Okay, added another one. I may have to restart Unity after I do these. Okay, that one's plugged into the OUYA. That one's plugged into the OUYA. That one's on the PC. That's weird. The stick is controlling 2 skeletons. Is the Bluetooth messing with my headset now? Or can you guys all hear that? Whatever that is. Oh, you know what? Maybe I just mapped the same skeleton to 2 of them. Let's see. Okay, so those look okay. It could be actually in the access setup. Maybe it's... Let's see. Actually, I was mapping these to the PC. That's not necessarily what I want to do. I want to map them to the OUYA so I can test it on the OUYA. Yeah, see how it's not activating the punch thing? It's got to be like an input player setting for the axis. Oh, joy. Joy 2, axis 1. Joy 3, axis 1. Alright. Joystick 3. Joystick 3. That looks right to me. Possibly joystick 2 is mapped to number 2. Somebody does not belong in here. Well, that's not right. It's got to be 10. No, wait. 5. I'm glad this part is scripted. That popping is killing me. Alright, well, the input settings looked okay. It's just a vertical setting.
So I was messing around with unit testing last week, which I've not done in Unity at all before. And I'll admit to everyone I'm not a C# person. So I'm kind of curious, do many people use unit testing? I ended up looking at NUnit Lite. Is that, what do people do? I'm from a, TDD, Java kind of nut background. So this stuff just seems like, what, you don't have unit testing? How do you live? How do you keep living with yourself?
Yeah,
Any
that's
thoughts
what
on
I'd used. I used NUnit to test web services pretty heavily. So like making SOAP calls and validating the XML return was right, and also used NUnit for functional like browser testing and whatnot.
But when I try to integrate, if you look on the Unity wiki, there was there's an entry about using NUnit Lite on there with a reference to a GitHub package, which has a couple of bugs in it which I've fixed and I haven't yet pushed, done a pull request for. So I don't know. Maybe that hints that perhaps people aren't using it much. But the thing I found was that the tests didn't want. I couldn't figure out how to structure it such that the tests didn't end up in my production binary. In other words, it comes packaged as a DLL or a source that you can build, but I couldn't see how to get it to not include everything effectively without having to put an if def or an if ndef around all of the tests, because otherwise the symbols show up and that pulls the DLL in. Genius ideas that I'm missing because I'm not that good at C# yet.
I thought I'd post like a long time ago in the Unity forums. There's like before I started putting stuff in the store, there's just an attached like NUnit framework for Unity.
That you posted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'll have a look for that.
I basically just taken the NUnit source, which is barely more than some custom attributes, and added like a little script to go through the assemblies and find any type that it used that custom attribute, and then it just run test fixture first, and then run each test, and run the teardowns and the inits at the appropriate times.
The problem I had was, because obviously I had to annotate my tests with the NUnit, markers and things. This caused me to always have to pull that stuff in because it's in the same package, so Unity doesn't want to not include it, if you sort of. A question for another time, probably. Thanks.
It's definitely something that I could polish more. I kind of left QA and jumped into game development, and I was like, I never want to see another unit test ever again, But now it's like, it's kind of a useful tool. I could add a package. All right, so that was definitely like some kind of input setting thing. Okay, so I've got to set the landscape mode. I'm just muting people one by one until I stop hearing the popping. Oh, Rupert, it might have been you. I think you might have a short in your mic cable or something. Okay. Okay, it's live too. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2. And I have to unpair my other 2 guys. So you have your OUYA controllers and your Bluetooth devices, and you just, what, like, delete key maybe? Of course not. Remove device, there we go.
Sorry about my sound. Should be fine now.
Oh, yep, totally. Okay. So, yep, and they turned off. Okay, so now, on the OUYA, this is different. Why is there only 4 here? Am I just... Oh wait, there's directions. To pair your controller, press and hold the U button. Only until the thing, and let's go. How do you click the continue button if you're... Pair controller.
Just plug a mouse in.
Yeah, it's okay. Press and hold the U button until this description can be updated for sure. Okay, I've got 2 controllers in pairing mode, but what happened to the old school thing? Maybe Y? Yeah, there we go. And then I think I have to just go up here and click this button. Oh, it is searching. Oh. Yeah, and see I have the Sphero and I have the Mindwave brain scanning mobile thing on there. Okay. This guy is still pairing. Did I pair too many devices now? And it's grayed out? That can't be good. Because those aren't controllers, they're other things.
Maybe it's not just controllers. So did you try to I didn't see that. Did you try to pair a 4th one?
Well, I think they're all paired now, so I have four OUYA controllers paired. Okay. So let's try the skeleton thing, and they're numbered correctly with their lights, so... Okay. So you'll notice then the latest thing, you can just hit run, and it'll... Well, except for because I've got multiple devices connected. Cool. Never mind that.
Out of curiosity, do you have all of those devices actively on such that they would be trying to connect to the OUYA at the moment? Because Bluetooth has a literal limitation that you can only have 8 connections in one, I can't remember what it's called, but one pull thing at the same time.
Oh. Yeah, the other devices aren't on right now.
Okay, cool. Just thought I'd mention it.
And that's kind of lame. Why 8? Why not 64? I don't know.
Bluetooth protocol, just the way it works. If you want to do a local Bluetooth network game, which is where I got this information from, you have to end up with kind of a network of networks in order to be able to control all of them.
Okay, so you saw that I did this from scratch, and all the controllers are working just fine. So when I see bug reports that this stuff doesn't work, like, it's working.
So have you tried it with like a 360 controller, a PS3 controller also?
Right, right. Okay, so I've got these four plugged in, right?
Yeah.
And now I've got a wired 360 controller. I just want to make sure I'm independently controlling four guys. So we at least have four at this point, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
All right, now I've got a 360 wired controller I can plug in, so I don't have to mess with pairing. But I can only do one of these, right? So
Yeah.
and then I've got an adapter
The hub?
to be able to plug my another wired controller into the micro USB slot, and then
You can't get away with just plugging a hub into the main USB port.
oh, I do have a hub too, so maybe I can do that.
That's what Steve was perhaps.
Yeah.
I think that's what we'd all expect normal users to do. You know, they're not all as super geeks as you and have like 20 different types of cable to plug this in. Well, I've got one that I can plug into the power port. Look, here we go. And then another one which plays a sound like a ZX Spectrum loading, which is translated by some software, which comes from a Unity package I wrote, which also works as a controller.
Yeah. Well, it's only like a $1 adapter. So okay, so here we go. We got one Xbox and four
It's good.
OUYA controllers. So there's 5. I've got a Bluetooth PlayStation controller somewhere. I think I might have a hard time getting up to 8 without a hub. All right. Okay, I've got 2 more controllers I can try. Just 2, huh? That would get me up to 7. And oh, right. I've got my wireless Xbox controller and a receiver. Okay. I've got a few more of those. Okay, maybe I'll do that. So I've got a receiver, huh? Oh, here he is. And that means I need 2 more wireless guys. Now I'm two more. Okay. 8 controllers. Sweet.
Is there a drum roll sound, plug-in for Google Apps, just out of curiosity?
There actually is.
Let's just all cheer. Go, Tim!
Yeah, missing. Oh, the hub.
Ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, now it's like I gotta find the wireless hub. There you go. Here we go. I found the Belkin USB hub.
Oh, I played that for nothing? Damn it, that one had to be Rupert. I'm blaming him for that one.
Okay. These are awesome.
Okay, so now I've got a hub plugged in and my wired 360 isn't lighting up. So is the OUYA not powered? USB? The light's on.
You know what?
Oh.
For a 2-day side scroller, this is turning out pretty good.
Hang on. that was the wireless receiver. Okay, now I'm plugging in the hub, or the
It's amazing you could plug all those things in without shaking that power cable. Power cable's super sensitive, huh?
Yeah, it's not powering my things off this hub thing. I guess that's why it.
Is it a powered hub?
No.
Probably the problem then, I guess.
Well, that's lighting up. Okay.
Because there are 2 power lines on the USB, right? And might be that only one of them is used to light one thing, and maybe the other is used for something else.
Signal and yeah. Oh, come on. Trying to get the lights to synchronize. Piece of junk. Okay, so get it blinking. Ah, throw it. I'll try the other controller. Now it's connecting to my Xbox. Don't do that. I can't get the Xbox controller to pair with the receiver, but I'll try moving on to the PlayStation controller. Yeah, it might be a powered problem. I need more power.
I noticed that like the power cord's like really fidgety. If I even move the thing 1 inch, it's like completely gone. It just turns off.
Huh.
Yeah, mine's like that too. If I just bump it, it'll shut. It'll disconnect completely.
I'm guessing it's just build quality. They must have fixed it for the actual product. That
Yeah, the new one actually snaps in. There's like a definite click.
do you
Yeah,
have the new one?
good. I know. Do you have the new one?
And no. But if you watch, like, just do a search on YouTube, you can see all Julie's like interviews and stuff, and she talks about it.
Cool.
Well, I can't get more than, well, I got 5 hooked up, but only when I plug in the USB Xbox controller directly into the OUYA. My hub sucks. I guess I've got a guitar hub, or guitar Rock Band USB hub I can try.
I noticed in the documentation that they said something like, and one controller plugged in via USB. I wonder whether that hints at that you have to have Bluetooth ones. But you said one of them was also Bluetooth, right? The PS3?
Oh, I do have another Bluetooth, yeah. I should have tried it before I shipped the other 2 back.
Is the Hangout full?
Yeah, Marco was trying to get in.
Yeah, same with ET Ski.
Here,
I
I'll
don't know
post a
exactly.
link so at least they can watch.
Yeah, he says that he's watching.
All this bang cursing. Yeah, 2 people are watching from the outside. Okay. Still has battery life. Okay, I've got to go back into the Bluetooth area. Oh, you know what? Maybe I did yank the power cord because I froze the OUYA. That's might be why I'm not seeing power, huh? Okay, well, don't do that. I guess I'll have to pull the power. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, now my USB stuff is lighting up. So I guess I had just crashed it. Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, my internet is plugged in. Whatever. Right? You guys can still hear me? I'm on the internet.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So let's go back to playing. Wait, I can't see from the... Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's the Xbox controller, USB. I'll send it to the front. Okay, so now we have one. Oh, and all these other guys are off. Okay. That's weird. The light indicator turned off, but it still works. Okay, so there's two.
Another interesting thing to know would probably be the frame rate once it's, once you get some number of them working.
Oh, I don't expect it to be good until I give you that next update. So 3. But yeah, something I should add to that screen. Running into that issue where it turns off. Ah, okay. Next. Yeah, so it turns on, flashes the indicator for what controller number it is, and immediately turns off. And I can't, okay, so I can't control some more sticks. Try some more Xbox guys. Oh, okay, so here's Xbox wireless guy number 4. And here's Xbox wireless guy number 5. Okay, so we have 5, and the last 2 OUYA controllers I can't. They won't stay on.
So it was the OUYA controllers that aren't staying on.
Right. Well, I mean, they were on before, but that's because they had like 1 through 4, and since they came on in a different order, they're instantly turning off.
I wonder, could we make? Do you have like a bit of 2x4 or something? You could just like sit it on top of the analog stick so that they're all saying, "Oh yeah, I've got a signal. It's this thing," so they don't turn off or something. Some way of forcing it to generate events, so we can say, "Oh yes, it's definitely working."
Yeah. Duct tape.
Yep.
Well, it's definitely turning off when I'm trying to use it here. The battery's in just fine.
And you don't have that development build check on. I don't see it on the bottom right of the screen, so I guess you don't have that checked, do you?
I can turn it on.
Oh yeah, and it's not checked. It's not the development build's definitely not checked. Yeah, that's the ultimate controller shut-off switch right there. If you have more than 2 controllers.
So if I turn this on, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I guarantee you. If you just put 2 controllers, you're gonna and you build it, it'll disconnect after a few minutes, within 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay. Because initially it was working fine with 4 and 5, and that was all 4 OUYA controllers. Now I've got 4 Xbox controllers working in, or 3 Xbox and 2 OUYA.
Yeah, I only tried it with 2 OUYA controllers and a PS3 controller, 2 PS3 controllers, and 1 Xbox 360 controller. Whenever I'd put the 4th one in, either the OUYA ones would disconnect or the Bluetooth pairing would disconnect, just without even a game running, just the menus. So I tried physical cables too. So I don't know.
Right now it's just the light isn't coming on.
What's the latest version of ODK?
100
I haven't
or
tried.
101, and then
I haven't
the
tried
latest
it with
version of. Yeah. But I don't think it's an ODK thing.
No, I'm
It's
just
gotta be a
asking
phone.
because I probably have an outdated version.
Okay, so this is interesting. Even I can double tap the system button on the controller, and the light's off, and it's working. It just won't take input in the demo, maybe.
And when I check the development build and use multiple controllers, I don't. Sometimes I get a reading on a logcat, and sometimes I don't. I don't get any readings on logcat, so it's sort of weird sometimes. That was the problems I was having.
I had a demo going, but I don't think you guys could see it. So this controller is active. None of the lights on the top are on, and the input's not going into the Unity game. I'll check the logcat. So when I hit buttons, it logs stuff, but nothing useful. So this could be a Unity thing. There's definitely a bug because the light should be on at the top. Okay, so you can do 5 though. So
Okay, so for the new ODK, apparently you have to set up the drivers differently now.
yep.
Is it hard?
Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. It's not hard to do.
Ugh.
You just have to edit your driver INI
Oh,
thing.
okay.
And there's pretty straightforward directions. I had to uninstall the driver to get it to work.
Oh God, what did I do? Oh God, I did
Did you
something.
cross the streams?
No, I definitely
Choose your
just.
destructor.
I think I just crashed the OUYA panel. I clicked shift and then back, and the whole thing just crashed.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm just that good.
Okay, so I just need more 360 controllers, maybe. I can't stop this guy. Here's that 2x4 controller you wanted.
Excellent.
So I have 7 controllers working. Wait, no, 6. And then the last 2 guys are OUYA controllers that don't seem to be responding. I have to bet that if I had 2 more Xbox controllers, I could get all 8 of them running around.
So your conclusion is that what the OUYA controllers are difficult to keep, synchronized, but Xbox controllers, they all work, but it's just a bit of a faff. Is that fair?
Well, it's just the light indicators that are being funny. So all 8 controllers are connected right now. It's just only accepting input from the first OUYA controllers that have IDs less than 4 or less than or equal to 4. Like as soon as I exit the game, then it's okay. I could probably enable some logging. Here, maybe I'll do that.
So you could use those OUYA controllers to move through the menus after you exit.
Yeah, well, I can even use it now to double-click the system button and it'll exit.
Oh, okay.
It's not sending the input to the game.
Yay! I fixed my OUYA panel. Man, thing went crazy. Every time I turned on Unity, I had like over 1,000 errors. And all I had to do was type in one illegal character.
Super. Oh, source.
Okay, Tim, I installed that Java JDK that you told me was right, and I pointed it to the destination, and still nothing. Like, it doesn't recognize any of the files inside of it.
Set it to the JDK folder and not the bin folder.
You can actually download it from
There's
the
a
OUYA
direct
panel.
link, yeah. Yep.
Damn,
He's talking about this.
smart.
So yeah, set it to the base folder of the JDK and not
Yeah.
JDK bin.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And it's the 32-bit one.
I'm re-downloading it. I'm just gonna install it again. And then I'm downloading the Android SDK right now.
Alright, I've got to do something because I can't get it to work with MonoDevelop. Okay, this is one of the reasons that makes the toolbox kind of handy, because I want to edit Java files. One thing they could do with the lights is if you're 5, like light all the lights except for the spot 1, and if you're 6, light all the lights except for the second spot. So they just invert the color schemes when the controller is more than 4. You know what I mean? Because having all the lights off, it makes it look like it's totally off. It's not. So I was just wanting to go into here and just turn on the logging.
Do 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 do.
Oh, hang on a second. Okay, now it should log input. So it'll look the JSON if I hit the other controller. Oh, it's launching on my Nexus 10. Okay, so that's not what I wanted, huh? And I don't want it launching on my Kindle. Ah, you're killing me. Okay, now I've got to unplug the micro USB. Plug it back in. There we go. Try it again. Okay, so no signal. Did I bump the cable? No signal. Awesome. Maybe I need to turn it off and back on. Unplug it. Is the HDMI input connected? Yes. You guys all still there?
Yeah, just trying to figure something out.
Yeah, we're here. I'm curious what
My,
what
my,
these
my,
are going to say. So
yeah, my TV turned off.
I'm just trying to figure out how to use the Xbox controller on PC, like an actual PC build.
Right.
there's
Oh,
a. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, you just need the Xbox receiver, right? You have a receiver, right?
No, I got it wired, so
Oh,
Like with the you're just using a wired controller with a PC.
yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how I should set up my input manager. 'Cause
Yeah.
I only need the left stick.
it should work the same code that you've already been doing for the OUYA. You don't have to write any custom code.
No, I know that. Just like the input manager.
You just want to use it in an editor, is what you're talking about, right?
No, I'm gonna use it in the editor and build it after.
That's what he said, right? That you just have to use that's why the package includes the input settings. So you just have to use that menu item and restart Unity, and it'll be set up.
So you can use the OUYA input for the PC Xbox 360 controller too.
Right.
Oh shit. Well, that kind of works out. Oh, wow, as soon as I figured it out. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I broke my OUYA or what, but the TV's not detecting it. Maybe I'm using too much power here.
Oh, you definitely bricked it.
I did. I bricked it.
Darn it, Tim.
Let's see.
Why have to brick stuff?
Unplug everything, plug it back in. I was just ready to
Wait.
test the logging.
Would the OUYA code still work for, like, player 1 and player 2? No, it wouldn't, right?
Yeah, no, it does. It does. You can have multiple. It's all set up so that it's multi-platform.
Oh, dude, awesome. Switching.
And after this week's updates, you'll be able to use the same mappings and stuff, but with the input.api, the Unity API.
Oh,
At least
dude,
that's the
when's
theory.
that gonna come out?
Well,
Could
I
use
was
that.
going for tomorrow.
Okay, if it actually comes out tomorrow, you're gonna be a god because my assignment's due the next day.
Well, you can still use. If you happen to do it tomorrow, like I would just use the documented way for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bricked my OUYA or something. It's not turning on.
My whole group found out that I like made video games on the side, and they're like, "Oh, bro, could you just make it a video game?" I was like, sure."
So my OUYA is turning on, but it says no signal. I'll try and plug it directly, bypassing the Elgato maybe.
That's a flow.
But then you guys won't be able to see it. Oh, it's fine. Maybe I have to restart the capture software. Okay. I'm walking all over the cables. That might have something to do with it. I want to see what happens when I plug in two OUYAs at the same time. That'd be cool.
You have two OUYAs?
Not yet, but I mean eventually.
Huh. Are you getting another one from the Kickstarter?
Yeah, whenever that happens.
March 28th.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. I'm trying to click on the with my mouse. I'm clicking on the picture of the OUYA, but I need to use the controller. Of course I need. Oh, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll turn on all my OUYA controllers first, and then plug the other guys in. But you're right, Kevin. I haven't given a shout out to my other thing, have I? Not yet. Here, hang on.
Tonight's gonna be a long night. Galaxies. LX. Controller. My controller should work. Close that. Hopefully this works. Okay.
Oh, I didn't include it in the mail, did I? Okay.
Oh, whoops.
Hello, and welcome to the very first preview video.
Here we go. Not sure I was going to splice this in.
Spectre 13? Oh, this is the game that you're working on, right?
Yeah, so I might send the second OUYA to these guys.
That actually looks really good.
Yeah, we've only been working on it for, what, 8 years now? Maybe more.
Seriously?
Yep.
Holy. You can see where the time and effort is put, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is the 4th iteration of our game now. Like, we did, originally DirectX, C++, and then we did it with the Ogre engine.
I started to experiment with DirectX 11 in Unity. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, with that contest?
No, I was just doing it randomly the other day. And it started to look really, really good. So I was like, ooh, I like this.
I started playing with it for, because they give you native access to the rendering, the native texture ID, so you can do, native DirectX code.
Oh, really?
In there, which means you can do multi-threaded stuff.
Oh, please tell me this is gonna work. Okay, this is weird. Now my Xbox controller is not working.
Great.
Oh. Yeah, game object.
Yeah, so you'll see as it goes along, the engines have a area light or a point light, and it affects like everything you fly by. And every bullet you fire has a point light.
So
Awesome.
this is PC, or is this isn't running on the OUYA yet, right?
No, I ran it on the OUYA, but I need to severely optimize it.
Yeah, like the textures and stuff, right?
Not so much the textures, everything else.
I heard the Android performance of point lights is terrible. True? False? Experience?
True.
True.
It just means you have to fake it somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a workaround.
I've got them on my rocket explosions, and note the performance drops to something like 20 frames a second when the rocket blows. But I didn't think it was that bad when it was in the air. So.
Tim, for using like your controller input on PC while using the OUYA stuff, would it be the exact same as doing in OUYA? The
Yep.
same button event handler and stuff?
Same stuff.
Alrighty. This makes my life a whole lot easier.
Okay, so now I have that scenario where... Okay, so the second light came on. Okay, there we go. I'll set these up before I start it.
Okay, so if I do like oh no, where's the OUYA controller? Okay, it would be never mind, I had it set up wrong.
Okay, here we go. So all four OUYA controllers are on. Now I'll launch the skeleton thing. And you guys can't see what I'm doing, can you? I gotta push the live button.
No, I can see it.
There we go. Okay, I think I might have got it this time.
Oh, hey, relapse is on there.
Yeah. Okay, so here's two OUYA controllers. 3 OUYA controllers. 4 OUYA controllers. Then we have... I'll turn on my Xbox controller.
Your Xbox controller seems to be pressing the live button in the bottom right corner.
No, it just
Oh,
blinks
okay.
like that. That's the capture
okay.
software. Oh, okay. So now I'm going to plug in the USB hub so that these get bigger IDs than the other guy. Okay.
Oh, hey, new GeForce driver.
I think I crashed it.
You definitely did.
Yeah, it was like right when my controller started detecting the next 4, I crashed it.
Matt says it crashes whenever.
Like it's done. It's locked up.
Did you have Logcat running at all, or is it?
Yeah, I did plan on running Logcat, but I forgot to run it.
Nice.
It doesn't mean maybe it's still connected.
Yeah, if the OUYA is still alive, logcat buffers. So.
I don't think it's alive anymore.
Zombie OUYA walking, watch out, it'll be after your brains.